All right, guys, welcome back to another CEO.CA interview. Today we're seated with Singh. Taj, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having us.
So first, Nordic Metals is what we're going to be focusing on today. Give us a brief overview of where you are. A little hint is Sweden, right?
Yes, exactly. Well, as the name suggests, the Nordics, but there's several countries, but in the Nordics, but we're Sweden and Finland. Our primary focus right now is Sweden. We've got another very interesting asset in Finland. So yeah, we're focused there and we're focused on gold. We're an exploration and development company.
So just to go right into it, in terms of your resources, 2.4 million ounces, what gives you confidence that you'll be growing that?
Yeah, that's a great question. Listen, it's 2.4 million ounces now. There's been quite a bit of drilling done on it, but really the area where we see the most potential is at depth. We've only really drilled to like 500, 600 meters. And we know that this same rock continues to 2 kilometers. We've actually had a deep hit that goes to like 1 kilometer. And these deposits, it's a greenstone belt deposit, they're typically known to go very deep, well below kilometers. So we have like a really good belief that this is going to continue well beyond that. And that should help us increase our 2.4 million ounce resource pretty substantially. I will also note that we're in a joint venture on this project with Agnico Eagle,
a beloved Canadian company.
The best and biggest gold miner in the world. And so the quality of the data, the quality of the work, they've been the operators, has just been amazing. And if someone's going to know an asset, it's them. And if they say this is going to continue, and we also have our own team, and we've been in the area for quite a while, we think there's very high potential for this to grow substantially.
Well, that JV with Agnico is called
Barcelli, yep.
Barcelli or Barcelli?
Barcelli.
Barcelli, okay. So can you explain, beyond Barcelli, what are the most promising targets on your gold line properties?
Yeah, so that's the good way of looking at the first Nordic story for Sweden is we've got this Barcelli joint venture project, 2.4 million ounces. That will be a mine someday. That's our belief. Around it, we have 100% owned ground. We have about 90 kilometers or so. So you've got 45 kilometers to the north and 45 kilometers to the south. And it's not just land. This is all along strike of that major gold line belt. The gold line belt is a trend that has very high probability and potential for being a major kind of gold producing system, but it's not gotten a lot of work done. It's pretty underexplored. A big part of the reason is Sweden and even most of the Nordic countries didn't open up to exploration till like kind of the late 90s. So they're like 100 years behind Canada in terms of exploration, where on that same kind of belt, same system, same rock, you've got hundreds of millions of ounces of production and resources. So that's a great position for us to be in. We own this huge land package that could host multiple multi-million ounce deposits. So we've already have 4 advanced targets ready to be diamond drilled this year. We've got actually one of the largest drill programs in the sector, in the junior sector, a 25,000 meter program that could grow. And we're going to hit those targets. And then we actually have 5-6 more new targets that in 2026 we'll continue to work on. So our thoughts are lots of targets, keep testing all of them, 2-3 of them hopefully work out, and all of a sudden it changes the story entirely.
So my last question on Barcelli is how much capital is required and what is the estimated timeline for Barcelli to become a producer?
So listen, there's been no study released on it, on Barcelli, like a PEA or PFS, although I would argue the project has already probably passed the PEA stage because of the amount of work done on it. But, internally, if you look at other projects of similar size, you're looking at maybe a CapEx in the 400 million range. And it all depends on the total eventual kind of mineral inventory there. But if it didn't grow anymore, you'd still have a 15-year mine life, 200,000 ounces a year production. Those are the kind of high level numbers you'd get to. If it got a lot bigger, you'd have to make the plant bigger, and then your production level could go up, etc. And if there were other deposits that we find under 100% of ground around it, it could change things too. So that's kind of the CapEx range, and of course that will all be adjusted as you move towards construction. I think, if you really accelerated things, you could probably get there in 3-4 years. You need to be drilling more at Barcelli. But for me, once a deposit gets above 2 to 2.5 million ounces, like you have a mine there. As long as the grade and the quality of the ounces is there, you're already at that critical level. And these deposits, a lot of times, they'll find the 2.5 million ounces and go to production. and then continue to add ounces as you start producing. That's a very typical thing. It's the most cost-effective thing to do. And then those mines go on for decades and decades, and you've got mines that have 10 million ounces of production. So you wouldn't really drill out 10 million ounces now. I think already with the number you have, you're there and comfortable. And so that gives you kind of an idea of kind of timing to get there, and kind of like high level capital.
Okay, well, again, Taj, thank you for being here. We'll hopefully see you again.
Thank you very much.
For our viewers who want to learn more about First Nordic, it's FNM on CEO.CA. Thanks for watching.